Hey everyone, good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Darrell Winninger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center. We've got showers. Some thunderstorms are expected with a big drop in temperatures, and we're looking at our next warming trend all starting up at least during the next several days. So this weekend is going to be a whirlwind of changes, and we're about to take a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. We'll look at what's been happening today, what's expected to happen coming forward, and when and where we're looking at the potential of some thunderstorm activity. So we're going to kick things off with our cameras across Central Oregon. We have a whole lot more cloud cover than we started the day with, and some showers have already been developing. But we also see a little bit of haze. That haze due to some prescribed burns that have been ongoing. But when we go ahead and focus on our air quality conditions, looking at the hourly average from the DEQ and airnow.gov, we have good to moderate air quality. You can see where one of those prescribed burns was in northern Crook County over the Ochocos. But showers are starting to help clear the air. And when we look at our radar loop, we can see that scattered showers really started to develop during the earlier parts of the afternoon. And right now, we don't have any thunderstorm activity across Central Oregon yet. It is going to be possible. When we look a little further to the south where these cells are coming from, we have a thunderstorm over Lake County, one straddling the Lake and Klamath County line, and a few more that are capable of developing a little further to the south. So that's what we're tracking this afternoon. Nothing in the way of severe weather is expected. However, some of these cells could be capable of producing frequent lightning. So that's why we're hyper-focused on it here through the next couple of hours as we go into the evening. And so we're not quite done yet. Now, when we go ahead and look at the bigger picture, all of this is happening in advance of our next cold front. That cold front pushes through tonight, and as it rolls through the high desert, huge changes are expected to the tune of falling snow levels, more precipitation, some moderate rainfall totals, and temperatures falling from 70s and 80s today all the way into the lower 50s with some 40s possible by the time we go through the day tomorrow. Looking at a few other aspects of this, our enhanced satellite imagery, this is infrared satellite, and the enhancement just helps pick out those taller clouds. You can clearly see where our cold front is just now making landfall along the Oregon coastline, and what we're experiencing over Central Oregon, that's called prefrontal activity, and that's because winds are coming out of the south and temperatures are much warmer, it's a little damp, and some convection is expected. So that's why we're keeping a close eye for any thunderstorm activity, and there's only that pair of cells that are just south of the Tri-County area that we're really focused on. But on top of that, there's a very dry air mass over the Pacific Northwest right now, and we're seeing all that yellow on the map, a little bit of the darker blue. That's where it's super dry. And what that really means for us in a situation like this is some of the showers, as they're pushing through, since we have such a dry air mass, the showers are evaporating before the moisture hits the ground, and the raindrops are. And so that means that some of what we're seeing across Central Oregon right now is just virga. It's evaporating before it hits the surface, but we are looking at more showers and some thunderstorms, and we're continuing to see more cells that are producing a little bit more lightning further to our south. But look at the flow. It's going south-southwest to north-northeast. So a lot of that is going to push right through Central Oregon. Some of it strays further off to our east. There's another dry air mass on the backside of our cold front, and that's what we're expecting by the time we hit Saturday night going into Sunday. So from the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, here's a look at some of those risks of thunderstorm activity for today and tonight. Central Oregon, South Central Oregon, and parts of the eastern third of our state have a chance of some thunderstorm activity. And then by the time we get to tomorrow, that actually becomes a risk of severe weather for southeastern Oregon going into Idaho and Nevada. Now, when it comes to the thunderstorms today and tomorrow, I'm not expecting anything severe until you get to that dark green area, and even that is going to be limited in intensity and duration, but by then it's going to be out of our Tri-County area, and we are still looking at showers by then as well. So here through the rest of this evening, scattered showers, some thunderstorms are expected. Winds are going to be gusty at times, especially if you're in the vicinity of one of those thunderstorm cells. But fast forward, and by 11 o'clock, most of it out of the area. Some in and out clouds through the early AM hours, but by tomorrow the cold front is actually pushing through Central Oregon. It's going to be wetter, still breezy, and there will be some mountain snow that we're expecting, even a few flurries in some of our lower elevations. But outside of that, the biggest change up you can expect is a huge drop in temperatures. By Saturday evening, starting to clear out. And then going forward past that on Sunday, we zoomed out real quick. Let me go back in. But by Sunday, that's when we're looking at more sunshine. Winds are still going to be breezy for most of the high desert. And this is our transition day when temperatures start to rebound, but the big warming trend isn't here just yet. So the last 24 hours, temperatures topped out in the 70s with some 80s on the map. Even in Bend and Redmond got to 81 and 82 respectively. And then our temperatures right now are in the 70s with 83 in Warm Springs and 66 in Sun River. So we are already seeing some of that rain cooling action across central Oregon, and that is going to continue. But looking at the temperature change in the last 24 hours, or delta T, we're running between 4 degrees warmer and 7 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday. That's because of this cold front that's rolling, and really the showers in advance of the cold front. By tomorrow, we see a big drop in temperature, still going to be wet through the day, and then by Sunday, still gusty but clearing, and the next warming trend begins, bringing us through the 60s, through the 70s, and even into the 80s just before another system late next week. So let's go ahead and look at the forecast model. Before, I was showing you a high resolution forecast model. This one's not as high resolution, but it still shows what's going to be happening and takes it a little further. This is the one we typically use on air every night. So our forecast model has by 11 o'clock still some showers. That thunderstorm activity will have then moved out of our Tri-County area, and overnight some periods of clearing possible. Winds taper off, but through the morning hours we're looking at the return of rain, some mountain snow. Then by Saturday evening, this one actually shows a little bit more clearing by 8 p.m. And then overnight, we really clear out, and Sunday brings tons of sunshine. Monday keeps that sunshine, and the warming trend really takes shape. And then by Tuesday, we're still under a ridge of high pressure with abundant sunshine expected. So just looking at our GFS model, this is the American model that is a long-range forecasting system. It's a spectral model. That doesn't mean much, but here's what it's showing. Here through the overnight, the next couple of days after this system rolls out of here, Monday and Tuesday we stay sunny. By Wednesday, still a lot of sunshine, but some afternoon clouds possible, and then a weak front fizzles out over the Pacific Northwest. This brings partly cloudy conditions Thursday, then back to sunshine on Friday. So really, after we get through this unsettled weather pattern tonight and tomorrow, it shapes up to be gorgeous conditions with some roller coaster temperatures late in the 7-day planner. Between now and Sunday at 11 p.m., we're all getting wet with a little bit of mountain snow, but let's go ahead and dissect this a little bit more. Let me back this up real quick. Let's go ahead and show the whole thing. So between now and 7 a.m., a lot of showers push through with a little bit of mountain snow. Through the day tomorrow, more mountain snow is expected. Now, this isn't enough to get too excited about, but a little bit of some freshies for Bachelor. Remember, Hoodoo is closed already, and even when we look up towards Hood, they're not getting any snow. That's just going to be for the Cascades of Central Oregon and some of our higher elevations where some snow showers are expected. But through Sunday, not much changing, no new rain. So it is drying out by then. Now, when we look at winds, it's already been gusty at times for some of us. Look at this. This is just actual wind speeds running between 10 and 20 miles per hour for most of the high desert. A few spots not as strong, but gusts are up to 30 miles per hour. And they're not that strong right now at this moment, but they have been getting there. And some gusty conditions are expected, especially around thunderstorm activity. And we're just peaking when it comes to those stronger winds, happening mostly until after sunset. Then we taper off. Through Saturday, it's just going to be breezy at times for most of the day across central Oregon. Afternoon and evening, back up to 10 to 20 miles per hour again. And then by Sunday, still stronger winds expected. So through the next several days, it's going to be breezy, if not gusty, for the high desert. Now for tonight, scattered showers, some thunderstorms, temperatures falling back into the 40s with a few 30s on the map. So nowhere near freezing, and some natural rainfall is going to be coming if you have anything out in the garden. But some thunderstorms are still expected through the PM hours, mostly during the afternoon and evening. By Saturday, rain and snow showers are expected, and snow in the highest elevations, and temperatures don't go that far, mostly topping out in the 50s with a few 40s on the map. So some of us, we're getting back down to chilly conditions for a day. And then Sunday, our transition day, Temperatures start to pick back up, then through the 60s, through the 70s, to either side of 80 degrees by Wednesday, with another system rolling through on Thursday, but temperatures bounce back real quickly to wrap up next week. So just a quick recap of what you can expect this afternoon: scattered showers, some thunderstorms through the evening and into the overnight hours, and a big cool down is expected Saturday. Lingering showers continue, with winds that are going to become breezy and clearing late. By Sunday, under more sunshine, that warming trend begins. So that is the latest in weather. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get to them through the rest of this evening. But for now, that's it. We'll see y'all tonight at 5 and 11 on ABC and at 6, 7, and 11 on CBS. Join us. We'll see you then.